Hello and welcome to Ruler 3's video review for The Wolf Among Us, a point-and-click adventure game from Telltales Studios. And this is their follow-up game to The Wolf Among Us, or The Walking Dead. Sorry about that. And it's a good follow-up. I decided to do this one now because all 5 episodes are out, so I can review the game as a whole instead of just reviewing individual episodes. Because honestly, if you don't want... The game doesn't really change much from the first episode, so if you like the first episode, you'll probably want to buy all of them anyway. So with that being said, The Wolf Among Us is a great follow-up, and while I don't think the emotional stakes are as high as they were in The Walking Dead, instead it delivers a murder mystery that just keeps you wanting to dig and dig and dig and find out more about what's going on in this universe. So as I said, the story for The Wolf Among Us takes place in the Fables universe, a series of comic books. And if you haven't read the comic books, they're all really, really good. I highly recommend it. And this is a prequel to the series. So you don't need to really know anything that happens in the comic book to grasp what's, actually happening in this time frame.
I've heard enough of your excuses.
You play as Big B Wolf, also known as the Big Bad Wolf. He's the sheriff of Fabletown, a small town in the New York, a little area in New York, where all the fables and myths and all that fun stuff people live. And they're trying to hide from the Mundies, which are normal people. On the whole, the story is really good. I'm not going to go any further into the storyline in terms of synopsis because I don't want to spoil anything. This is a very easily spoilable game. Just know that the storyline is really good. It doesn't really ever slow down in terms of progress of the main storyline. The pacing's all really well done, and this flow is perfect. The characters are wonderful. While certain chapters, I think some characters are underused, they don't waste the characters, though, at all. And it's a really good ensemble. The only problem I do have with the story, as earlier I said, you didn't need to know a whole lot about the Fables universe to understand this game. However, there is some kind of flavor stuff you might want to know about, like why the heck are they in the real world in the first place? What brought them there? That's not explained. It just tells you they're driven from their home. They don't explain what drove them from their home. Some characters, have certain motivations, and you don't really understand why they have these motivations or why certain characters are missing from these characters' lives from the fairy tales. They don't really get into any of those details, so if you want to know more, you do have to get into the comics. And that's kind of the other half is, where it doesn't tell you this and you want to know more, it gets you to read the comic book. So I guess, if that was their goal, they did a really good job in doing that.
Hey, what did I say? I said be nice, or you wait outside. Come on.
Gameplay for The Walking Dead, or Wolf Among Us, is pretty similar to The Walking Dead. That's why I get those two mixed up. It's a point-and-click adventure game. You go around talking to people, collecting stuff. Depending on how you talk and interact with people, influences how those characters can, next time you see them, how they're going to react to you, or certain choices are going to be locked from you or open to you based on your actions. And it's really, I like these kind of build-your-own-adventure games. While the overarching story doesn't change at all, a lot of the flavor text and different small things can change. Every now and then you'll be given a choice to do one of two things, and you can't do both. It is physically impossible. You can either go to point A first and then go to point B, but point B is not going to be the same as if you went to it first because things are going to be, time's going to have passed and things are going to have changed. Whereas, you went to place 1 first, that's going to be different versus if you had chosen to go there second. So there's a high level of replayability and kind of able to build your own story and kind of play the way you want to play without having to sacrifice really anything. But the one downside is the fact that, it's already predetermined how this game is pretty much going to go down. There's very little variations from being it twice, doing a couple of things, and it's pretty much the same other than small little flavor things, which are kind of, interesting. Other than that, the only other gameplay is during combat phases. You're going to be doing a lot of quick time events. And personally, I like doing these ones for the point-and-click adventure games because it doesn't interrupt with the story flow that it goes, because it can still deliver some story even while you're fighting things and gives you some choices to how to fight certain people. And it's a nice little system that it kind of develops. Now, if you don't like quick time events, then I'm sorry, but like I said, this is more of a story-driven game than gameplay game, just talking and finding out what, why everything's going down in Fabletown the way it is.
I need to tell you something.
What is it?
You're not as bad as everyone says you are.
The Wolf Among Us, while I don't think has the emotional stakes, I do think the characters and intrigue of the story is a little bit better than The Walking Dead. Everything about this game is great. I would recommend, like I said, I'm going to give this game a buy rating because I do recommend it to anybody who, likes point-and-click adventure games. If you like the Fables comics and not into,
You're joking, right?
maybe the point-and-click, you might want to check this one out because it's a great version of Fables. It has the right atmosphere, the characters are right on, and everything is perfectly done. It is a great adaptation of the comic. And if you don't like the Wolf, never heard of the Wolf Among Us, like Telltale games, I recommend playing it just because it's a great story and you get some, there's a lot of cool things. And then you might want to check out the comics because of that. I mean, this game is that good. That's it for this review. Sorry about, the lack of reviews for the past few weeks. There hasn't been any real games coming out that I can review. I was going to do Sniper Elite, but unfortunately, due to me using Gamefly, I was unable to get it. I'm going to hopefully do that one here soon. It's on my list. I'm just waiting for them to send me. With that being said, next will probably be Mario Kart 8 because I have that. Need to review it. Mean to review it. And there's nothing else coming out this week. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Check out ruleof3.com for the latest in news, updates, and our Trifecta Gaming News podcast, which should be going up around the same time as this video. We go into some EVO and a couple other things that happened over the week news-wise. Good times. And that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. And always remember to trust in the rule of